Hey girl, hey, welcome to another weekly vlog. So this vlog is about to be probably something you didn't even expect and definitely a lot different than the rest of my vlogs because I am at my Air Sculpt consultation. So if you have no clue what Air Sculpt is, I will leave a link in the description box to a Air Sculpt website. Actually, I'll leave the link to the Air Sculpt place that I am at in DC. So I am going in for my consultation to get a procedure called Up-a-Cup. And just to kind of run you through it quickly, it's where they pretty much do a fat transfer to your breast. So sort of think about getting a BBL, but instead of them putting the fat in your butt, they put it in your breast. And for me as a mom, I breastfed both of my children. I breastfed my oldest until she was 1. She had a full mouth of teeth. And I breastfed my second child till she was around 9 months, or was 9 or 10 months. So I before having kids, I didn't have big breast anyway. But definitely after breastfeeding, they are definitely sagging a little bit. So just imagine having little saggy boobs. Like, come on now. My best boobs was when I was breastfeeding because they were nice and full and supple. They had milk in them. They were gorgeous. But after breastfeeding, they kind of went like, meow. So I'm looking to not have like humongous boobs, but just to bring some life into them. And I've been doing a lot of research. Number one, I have a phobia of being under anesthesia. And like just the thought of like being put to sleep frightens me. Like that scares me. So with Air Sculpt, you do not go under anesthesia. So I'll be vlogging and walking you through the whole process from beginning to end so you can see all about it. But I'm in the car now, sitting in the parking lot for my consultation. So just wanted to check in with you before. I brought my vlogging camera with me, my DJI. But I forgot the daggone SD card at home. So I am currently vlogging from my iPhone. So I hope you can hear me and see me well. I am in the car. So yeah, I am going to go in for my consultation. Again, I'll be getting a consultation to get fat removed from my abdomen and my back. I have like rolls in my back. No matter how much weight I lose, I always have rolls. Even when I was a bodybuilder, I'll try to find a picture of my bodybuilding competition. Even when I like turned around, I still have like fat on my back. It's so hard for me to lose that back fat. So I'm going to use this as an opportunity to get rid of this back fat once and for all. So just looking for that to be removed. And then just like a little bit of my mommy pooch. And that's it. Like, that's really it. Honestly, if there was a way for me to use like some donated fat, then I would do that. Like, I'm more so going into this procedure for the boob of it all, not really the fat loss of it all. But, in addition to me being like afraid and having a phobia of being put under like anesthesia, being put to sleep, the thought of having like a foreign object in my body also freaks me out. So you might be wondering like, okay, well, if you don't want to do the whole fat thing, then why not just do breast implants? I don't know. I don't want to live with like a foreign object. Like, what if something happens and it bursts? Like, I don't know. Just that thought alone freaks me out. So when you take me being nervous about going under anesthesia and not wanting to have a foreign object in my body, Air Sculpt is like perfect for me. I don't have to be put under anesthesia. And I don't have to have a foreign object in my body. It's my own fat just being taken from one area and put back into the other area. They say, like, don't be all excited about how your boobs look after, like right after, because you're going to lose anywhere from 30 to 50% of what you see. Like, once the fat kind of settles in, it's going to go down. So after the surgery, you're going to be swollen. So it's going to look like you have these big boobs, but after time, once the swelling and stuff goes down, you can expect that what you see, you're not going to see about 30 to 50% of that, which again is fine for me. I'm not looking to like be walking out of there with these big jugs. That's not what I want. I just want a little bit more life, put back into these babies after breastfeeding 2 humans. So yeah, again, the procedure is called Up-a-Cup. So you can expect to like go up a cup. That's fine with me. Honestly, if they can just fill in the cup that I did have, I'll be a happy candidate. So let's go ahead and go in. Again, I don't have my vlogging. Well, I have my vlogging camera with me, but I don't have the SD card. So I will be vlogging from my phone. So we'll see how much I can capture. And yeah, I'll check in with you after my consultation. Good, and yourself?
I'm good. Are you taking it?
Yes.
Awesome. What's your name?
Kiara, flipping.
Okay. I'll get this started on our patient form.
Okay.
There's just a few pages attached. Just let me know whenever you're finished. Okay.
Thank you. All right, checking in really quickly. I am back for my consultation. I have to change into like a little disposable bikini set and put a robe over it. So once the doctor comes in and the consultation starts, I don't know how much I'll be able to capture, but if I can, I will capture something. If I can't, then I will see you afterwards. So let me go ahead and get changed.
Kira?
Yeah.
Hi, did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
My name's Ariella. It's nice to meet you. Everybody butchers my name, so I always like to ask just in case. Well, I'm your consultant today. I'm going to be going over some details of the procedure, kind of what to expect.
Okay.
I'm also going to have you meet with a surgeon as well, so we'll do
Okay.
an official assessment of the area, just kind of come up with a good game plan together.
Okay.
But I see your main concern here is you're wanting to do a breast up-a-cup, so increasing the breast, and then you want to take away from the abdomen and the back area. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, well, why don't you just start by telling me a bit about yourself and just what your goals are and what you're looking to achieve.
So,
Hi, how are you?
hello, good and yourself?
Nice to meet you.
Good to
I'm
meet
doing
you as well.
Yeah.
I was just interested in seeing.
What can be done?
Yeah.
All right. So we're looking at full abdomen. you said?
It's full abdomen, back brow roll, skin tightening,
Yeah.
uppercut.
Yep. So
Got enough?
yeah.
Sure I do.
So,
I have enough for a couple folks.
yep. And then going all the way around.
Yeah, these like
Yeah.
never go away. I was telling her, like, no matter how thin I get,
Yeah.
they never leave.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people still cut these out,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to do that like maybe 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But ever since like being with AirSculpt, like I don't cut these out.
Okay.
We do our AirSculpt and then we do the tightening,
Mm-hmm.
and it really helps with
Okay.
that.
All right, so you would have seen me by now. I'm trying to think of where I am picking up from because it is now several days later from the last clip that you saw. So you saw me in the car, in the parking lot of the office before going in. We had a little chat there. I would have shown you a part of my consultation. I tried to put in as much as I could. So by the time you're seeing this, you would have been able to see what I was able to show. So you were able to see some of my consultation. It is now several days later, as I mentioned, and I did move forward with booking my AirSculpt procedure. So I want to go over a couple of things because prior to choosing AirSculpt, I also looked at another plastic surgeon's office that is also in Virginia. And just one thing about AirSculpt DC, it says AirSculpt DC, but it's actually in Virginia. So I want to clear that up, because you would think that it would be in like downtown DC, but it's actually in Virginia. So anyways, prior to choosing AirSculpt, I did get a consultation by another surgeon in Virginia. I had researched this surgeon as well and had really good reviews. A couple of local celebrities in the DMV area have gone to this surgeon. Unfortunately, this surgeon does not do the procedure that I want to do. And it's not because I asked, it's not because he doesn't like to do it or he doesn't trust it or for whatever reason. He has another doctor in his office that does the procedure that I want, and he likes to focus his time and attention more to implants. So if I wanted to actually have breast implants, he would have done them. But he likes to, again, focus his time and attention on implants. So he has another doctor in his office that does the fat transfer. So I didn't find that out until I reached out to the office. I had like a phone consultation, then I received an email and then a phone call. And on the call, the lady was running me through everything and she mentioned another doctor. And I was like, that's not the doctor I want to see. So that's who explained it. She was like, he really likes to focus his time on implants. Like, that's his thing. Like, that's his thing. However, we have this doctor. Mind you, I didn't have an opportunity to research the other doctor. So I took a couple days, I looked online, and the first thing that I found out was that this doctor was not board certified. They were board eligible, and I just wasn't comfortable with that. So that kind of X'd that out. So that's one of the reasons why I went with AirSculpt. Now, AirSculpt in DC/Virginia has about 4 doctors. I researched all of the doctors. And sorry, I have my head wrap on because I'm getting my hair done tomorrow to prepare for my procedure, so I don't have to worry about my hair. Anyways, I researched all 4 doctors many different ways. I looked up lawsuits, present and past. I looked up reviews. I looked at social media. I looked at articles they've written. I looked up their license. Like, I did intensive research on all 4 of the doctors, because with AirSculpt is its own brand. So these doctors are kind of coming into the AirSculpt brand. So the surgeon that I selected, he has his own plastic surgery practice. Like, he has his own thing going on, and then he comes into AirSculpt to be able to use the AirSculpt brand. So he can't take the AirSculpt technology into his private practice because it's licensed and branded for AirSculpt. So he comes into AirSculpt to do AirSculpt procedures. So I already knew what surgeon I wanted. Like, I walked in knowing the surgeon I wanted. I've seen his work. I've seen the procedure that I want to get done on different body types, different ethnicities and races. Like, I saw it done and I was like, yeah, I want that doctor. Read all of his reviews. All were great. One of the reviews talked about him being kind of reserved, kind of like a quiet or reserved person. And when I did my consultation, the lady mentioned like, hey, just so you're not thrown off, like, he's a little quiet, can be a little awkward, but like, he's a genius. And when I met him, I was like, oh, he seems like me. Like, I'm an introvert, I'm quiet, but I'm a genius. So him and we vibed off that. But anyways, so I walked in already knowing the doctor that I wanted. Just so happened the doctor that I wanted was the doctor that was there when I got my consultation. So he's only in the office on Mondays and Thursdays, probably because the rest of the week he's at his own practice doing his own thing. So you would have saw that already. I met with Dr. Bat, that is who is doing my procedure. So I was able to meet with him. Because I've done a lot of research, I really didn't have many questions. But I was able to ask the questions that I had and they got answered. So that was that. So I had my consultation that day. I actually booked my surgery that same day. Again, I already walked in knowing that I wanted to do this. So I didn't need to be convinced. I didn't need to be sold. It just needed to fit in the budget. Like, I had a price point in mind and it needed to fit in that. And I was ready to move forward. When I'm doing things like this, like making a big purchase or a big investment or just a big decision, before I waste people's time, I like to already have an idea that I want to do it. Because I don't like to be sold, and just me personally, I don't like to sell people and I don't like to be sold to. So I don't want to waste my time or anybody else's time. So I had already researched and I knew kind of the ballpark of what I wanted, what it would fit in. So before I go in, because first of all, I want to say, as I was doing my research specifically on YouTube, not a lot of people like to talk about the price. Like, people are asking in the comments, well, how much was it? How much were you charged? How much were you quoted? Like, how much? And people kind of shy away from giving that number, but I'll give it to you because I don't mind. But I do know that it's different areas and different time periods. So this is 2025 at the DC office. What you were quoted in 2018 in the Miami office might be different from what somebody is going to be quoted in 2028 at the San Francisco office. Like, different parts of the world, different regions, different pricing, whatever, and so forth. But anyways, I was able to get an idea. What I do want to share, I have my notes here, is that other plastic surgeon office that I didn't go with, they didn't even fully quote me. They just blanket said, we start at $16,000. For a fat transfer to the breast starts at $16,000. We didn't even go into all the areas that I wanted liposuctioned. So just starting out was going to be $16K. I want to give that to you for reference. And this was a doctor, again, this is the year 2025 that I'm recording this. And this was a plastic surgeon office in Virginia, quoted me $16,000 base. That's the starting point for a doctor or a surgeon that's not even board certified. Okay, so just put that in frame of reference. $16,000 starting. They don't even know all the areas I want. Like, just starting out for a surgeon that is not board approved. She's board eligible, but she's not board approved. Okay, so if you're wondering how much this procedure is going to cost, ballpark, that's what I was quoted without even being seen. Okay, like, that was the email I got. It was like, this is what we starting off at. If this is something you want to move forward with, we can schedule a call. Like, before I even saw a doctor, they're just putting it out there. If you ain't got 16,000, don't even call our office, right? So and that was for let me give you some more details. This was for a fat transfer to the breast with me being under anesthesia. Okay. So this doctor's office in particular did not provide the awake lipo. All right. So I know some people are saying, because I've read them, I've done my research. I've watched every AirSculpt YouTube video, good and bad. I've read all the comments. I've done my thing, right? Some people are saying AirSculpt is more expensive than traditional fat transfer to the breast. I think in my experience, that is not accurate. Okay? I paid, or should I say I was quoted $2,000 more than that. So for my AirSculpt procedure, and I'll go into all that I got, I was quoted $18,000. $2,000 more than traditional liposuction fat transfer to the breast. And I want to put that out there. Again, I am in DC looking at surgeons in Virginia in 2025, okay? So maybe back in the day, pricing was different. Maybe if you're seeing this years later, pricing is different. I just want to put things into perspective, because that's one of the things I was looking at. Like, so are people being cheated at AirSculpt? Like, why is AirSculpt so much more expensive? Like, I don't get it. It's not, in my experience. It is not more expensive. And I want to go into all the things that I am getting done. Let me pull up my invoice really quickly, but I think while I'm pulling this up, I'll share. I think I already shared this in the beginning video when I was in the car. I am getting this procedure for the breast transfer of it all, like for the fat transfer to the breast. I eat healthy. I work out 5 days a week. Like, I'm at my ideal weight. Like, do I want to burn a little bit more fat? Yes. But I don't want to burn a lot of fat, because when I burn a lot of fat, my curves go away and I'm like kind of like a string bean, like I'm up and down. So for me, having a little bit of fat on my body gives me a little bit of curve, and I'm okay with that. I've been a bodybuilder. I've participated in a bodybuilding competition, came in 5th place, was the leanest of my life. Like, so eating right, working out, I know how to get the body that I want. However, ain't no diet, ain't no exercise that is going to provide volume to your breasts. So the largest that I've ever been is 220 pounds. And after being 220 pounds, I dropped to 119 pounds when I did my bodybuilding competition. So the little bit of boobs that I had, I shared when I opened up this vlog. I've never had like humongous breasts anyway. Like, I've been on the smaller side. So just think about my little ones that I already had shrinking in size after that bodybuilding competition. And prior to that bodybuilding competition, I already had one child that I breastfed. So I had a child that I breastfed. Then I lost all this weight, right? So that shrunk them. Then I had a second child that I breastfed. So there's just like no volume. They're there, but they're lifeless. So for me, like I shared before, I have 2 fears. One is being under anesthesia. God forbid if I'm ever in like a life or death situation and like I need to be like put under anesthesia to like save my life or to get like a medically needed procedure, then sure, like put me under anesthesia. But in that type of situation, it'll probably be out of my control anyway. But outside of that, like, I don't want to be put under anesthesia. I shared in another vlog, if you've been following me for a while, that I had a pilar cyst in my scalp that I had to get surgically removed, and I went under local anesthesia. So I was able to feel the surgery, like just the pressure, no pain. The most painful part was actually getting the numbing, but after that I didn't feel anything, just like the pulling and the tugging of it all. But it ended up coming back, and I saw a surgeon, and he was like, I need to put you under anesthesia so I can like really dig in your head to get it out. Child, it ain't happen. Here's the thing. It was actually supposed to happen. If you followed me before, you already heard this. If you've been following me, you've already heard this story. But I scheduled it. It got canceled. I rescheduled it, and then for whatever reason with the doctor's office, it got canceled again. And I was like, it's a sign. I am not supposed to be going under anesthesia to get my head cut open. So yeah, that's a big fear of mine. So going under anesthesia. And then second is having foreign objects in my body. That just gives me the heebie-jeebies. Like, I don't know. Like, I just couldn't imagine like walking around. Now, if I needed like, I don't know, a rod in my leg because I got in an accident, like stuff like that where it's like, okay, like I need this thing to be able to walk, I would have to be okay with it. But for this, I'm like, I don't want to walk around with objects in my body if I don't have to. So yeah, AirSculpt pretty much solved those 2 things for me. I don't have to go under anesthesia, and I don't have to have implants. I can use my own fat. I've read all the things, I've watched all the videos about just how everything is gonna feel. I feel like I have a high pain tolerance. I have humongous tattoos that I've set 6 hours each to get done. I have my first child I was in labor with for 4 days before I took an epidural. So I labored. Like, imagine having contractions for 4 days straight. That was me. My second child, I had naturally in my bedroom. I pushed her right out, no meds, and I labored with her for, I think my contractions started like around 10 p.m. and then I had her at 2 a.m. and I breathed through them. Like, so I'm like, I feel like I have a high pain tolerance. Hopefully I don't put my foot in my mouth, but I'm aware with this that I'll feel something. Like I'm walking into this like knowing like I'll feel something, probably the same thing like when I got my head surgery under local anesthesia. Like I felt like the pressure of them like digging in my head. Like just imagine like somebody like pressing on your head. Like that's what I felt, and I can feel like them pulling. It was uncomfortable, but it wasn't painful. And I feel like the same thing with my contractions. They were uncomfortable, but it wasn't like a pain. Anyways, long story, I'm prepared to walk in, yes, knowing that I'm gonna feel something. I think people, just the reviews that I read, like people are walking in like, they told me I wasn't gonna feel nothing. They lied to me. And it's like, I don't know if you should have believed that. Anyways, let's jump into all that I am getting, which actually is a lot. I'm gonna be honest. I walked in like, just take a little bit off my stomach and put it in. But once I met for the consultation, they talked like, pretty much like they talked to me about like, well, if you get your lower and then you don't get your upper abdomen, like that's gonna look kind of weird. And then if you get your upper and your lower abdomen, but you don't get your flanks, you're gonna have this flat stomach, but like fat on the side. And then I was like, well, when you put it like that, just go ahead and get my back bra roll while you at it. Because no matter how small I got, even being 119 pounds, I still had like a back roll. It might be hereditary because I think my mom told me she goes through the same thing. But I've always had a back bra roll. I also think it's my posture as well. So I'm always trying to make sure I'm posturing myself so I don't like force myself into having a roll. But anyways, talking about all that I am getting, I'm getting liposuction to my upper and lower abdomen, right? So the top and bottom of my abdomen. Also, my waistline and my flanks, and also my back bra roll, right? So that is what? Upper and lower abdomen. That's actually concluded, and that's actually one. They don't do one without the other. They made that clear. So upper and lower abdomen, my waist, and my flanks. So that's considered my full abdomen. And then I added the back bra roll. Again, I'm here for the breast. I'm here for the breast lift of it all. But shoot, why are you taking fat from there? Go ahead and just clip some off the back bra roll while you at it, right? Like I'm not here for the liposuction. I know how to get my abs flat. I know how to do the thing. But since you there, you might as well go ahead and get the back fat. It just makes sense, right? It just makes sense. And when you look at the pricing breakdown, to add the back bra roll, it's really worth it. Okay, so full abdomen, which includes upper and lower abdomen, my waist and my flanks, and the back bra roll. And I also added in the AirSculpt Plus. So the AirSculpt Plus is their tightening system. So after they suck the fat out, they use the AirSculpt Plus technology to squeeze your skin in. And when I look at different reviews online of people that are like not satisfied with their results, I'm wondering if they opted to get the AirSculpt Plus as well. But yeah, when I looked at the pricing of everything, I was like, yeah, let's just go ahead and add that too. Because I am a mom, because I've had 2 kids, I might have some looser skin. So I'm like, well, that's the last thing I would want, is to get the liposuction and then have the skin. So I am getting a lot done. Remind you that first place that was the plastic surgeon, they quoted me $16,000 off bucks. That's their base. So anything else you want is just gonna go up from 16. AirSculpt quoted me $18,000. Okay? They quoted me $18,000 for upper and lower abdomen, waist and flanks, back bra roll, right? Then we added AirSculpt Plus to all of that. And we're gonna take that fat and put it in the breast. $18,000. So in my opinion, AirSculpt was actually cheaper than going the traditional liposuction fat transfer route. In my opinion, in my situation where I live, the time, the year that it is, it was cheaper, right? Again, upper and lower abs, waist, my flanks, my back bra roll, plus I'm getting skin tightening on all of those areas, and then the fat is being transferred to the breast, $18,000. How much were you quoted, Kiara? How much did they charge you? $18,000, okay? They do have payment plan options, financing, cash options. They have it galore, right? They have options, because I know there's probably going to be another question, okay? There were like some specials going on, Black Friday special. They had some other specials. They had, they waived one of the fees for me. So be sure to ask. That's something that I had read online, so I knew to walk in and ask those type of questions, because I just saw other AirSculpt reviews that if you ask, like, share, like, this is my budget. That's kind of how I walked in, like, this is my budget and this is what I want to get done. Like, how can we make it work? And they made it work. So that's that. I hope I answered. I'm trying to like think ahead of some questions that might come about, only because I've, again, watched like hundreds of AirSculpt YouTube videos and I've read all the comments. So I know kind of what to expect with the comment section. I think that is it. One thing that I do want to add is that when you're preparing for the actual procedure, to also prepare to invest in your aftercare. I am already booked up with a lymphatic massage therapist that is not too far from my house. She also does house calls, or you could go to her. AirSculpt, they say like, oh, you know, you don't have to get them. I'm just gonna go ahead and get them. Again, I've read all of the reviews and looked at all of the results. And just in my research, people who get the lymphatic massages have better results and less discomfort after the procedure. So my plan is to go twice a week for the first 3 weeks, or first 2 weeks, probably first 2 to 3 weeks, and then once a week until I reach that 3-month mark. And then after that, once a month. That's my goal. I've already spoken with and had a consultation with my lymphatic massage therapist. She's familiar with AirSculpt. She has had clients that have used AirSculpt. She's had clients that have gone to Sonobello. She's had clients that have gone to other plastic surgeons. So she's very familiar with the procedure that I'm gonna get. So she made it clear that at my first appointment that she'll create me a treatment plan. She'll create me a treatment plan based upon like the amount of massages I'll need, as well as FAJA support and consultation. If you're not familiar with the FAJA, that's the compression. She had like an Amazon storefront of like all the things she feels like I'll need post-surgery. So I got those in advance. She told me to bring all of those to my appointment. She'll show me how to use everything, how to put everything on. So I think that's really important too, because just in my research, I found that people get this procedure and then they just go home and they wing it. I don't want that to be me. This is a big investment and I want to have a good experience and I want to have great results. So be prepared to invest in your aftercare, and not even just aftercare with the massages, but also aftercare with how you're eating. I know that I am not going to be drinking because alcohol slows down the healing process. I couldn't drink prior to the procedure and I'm not going to be drinking after. I'm currently filming this before Christmas. I was about to say out my mouth, like, maybe I'll have like a sip of Prosecco at Christmas. I ain't even really pressed to do that. Like, I know what liquor tastes like. I know what wine tastes like. I know what champagne tastes like. I'm not missing out. I'm getting my procedure in December. My birthday is in April. By I'll have a drink for my birthday. Like, I'll be fine. Like, I don't have an addiction. I don't need to have alcohol. So, and I think some people might get this procedure and go back to drinking. Smoking is another thing. Like, I'm not a smoker. Don't smoke cigarettes. Don't smoke marijuana. Don't use a vape pen. Like, I don't smoke. And I think sometimes smokers just in the research that I've done and just stuff that I've watched, they sometimes don't have the best aftercare. So I think setting up a good aftercare before you get the procedure is the way to go. That's one of the things that my lymphatic massage therapist commended me on. She was like, big ups to you for like doing this before. She was like, I get people calling me like, oh my God, I just had my surgery yesterday, or I just had my surgery last week, I need you. She was like, you hit me up in advance. She was like, that's how you do it. So I want to share that with you, just as you're like mapping out your finances and just, you know, how everything is going to go. Don't just budget and plan for the surgery. Budget and plan for your aftercare. Those FAJAs, the boards, the foams, like that stuff costs. Like that's additional cost that no matter which route you go, you're going to need that. They said that AirSculpt has a quicker recovery, mainly because you don't have to go under anesthesia, so you don't have to like detox that. So I do plan to be off for a few days, at least a week, and then I will return to work and just kind of doing my regular day-to-day duties around the house. I am scheduled to get my first lymphatic massage 2 days after my procedure. I had actually scheduled it for a week, and she called me. She was like, nope. She was like, you're going to be hard as a rock by then. She was like, I'm familiar with this procedure. I've been doing this for 14 years. Like, you need to come in sooner than that. She actually wanted to see me the next day after my procedure, and I was like, girl, I don't think I could do that. And she was like, okay, at least 2 to 3 days tops, just so she can start. She was like, I'll be gentle. She was like, but we need to just start getting that fluid out and just start, you know, that procedure. So yeah, so I have that scheduled already, and I'm honestly looking forward to it. My anxiety has been pretty minimal, probably because I've done a lot of research. And if you've been following me, then you know that I'm a spiritual person. I have people who've prayed over me, and I just have things working on the spiritual side in my favor. And yeah, so that has really just helped me just not have anxiety about it. And I'm honestly looking forward to it. Like, I'm going to get my girls back. And for a moment there, like, I just started thinking like, man, is this irresponsible? Like, why would somebody ever spend this, you know, on themselves or do this for themselves? But I just think about like how easy it is for me to buy things and do things for my kids and buy things and do things for my husband. But when it comes for me to do something for myself, I'm always hesitant. Like, I'm always hesitant. I'm always second guessing. There's always something that's more important, but only when it comes to me, not when it comes to my husband or my kids. I've dropped a bag on them. They are spoiled. Like, but again, like, even if I'm at the store and I'll see like a shirt or something, I'm like, oh man, that shirt, $50. That's ridiculous. Who would spend $50 on a shirt? And then here go my daughter asking for a Labubu. And it's like, oh, a couple $100s for a Labubu. Sure. Like, right? Like, make it make sense. Like, why is it for us as moms, or maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm speaking for you too, or maybe I'm just speaking for myself. It's so easy for me to buy and spend money on ridiculous things for my husband and for my kids. But when it comes to me, I just can't make it make sense. So this is for me. Again, I'm in it for the breast of it all. I don't want breast implants. I don't want to be put under anesthesia. So the fact that you can suck some fat from some areas that I don't want anyway, it's a win-win. I don't have to have implants. I don't have to go to sleep. And you're going to suck some fat out. Like, sounds like the perfect recipe for me. I am speaking for me. This might not make sense to you. You might think this is stupid. You might think this is ridiculous. In your mind, you might think I can bring life back into my breast by doing diet and exercise. Believe me, I've read the comments that people put on other people's videos, so just don't come here with that, because I might just have to block you, because I'm not here for that. Especially if you're one of my regular followers, then I don't even expect that from you. But I'm just preparing for those that are just going to be searching in YouTube for this video that might not know me or have watched any of my other videos. we're not doing any negativity around here. I'm a highly intelligent person, so I am making a intelligent decision for my life and for something that I want to do for me. For me, for me, for me. This isn't for anybody else but myself, and I am looking forward to it. So I am gonna go ahead and wrap this vlog up here. When you see me again, it will be the day of my procedure. So I'll break this up in a playlist and into different segments for those that want to follow along for the complete journey. I know when I was doing my own AirSculpt research, I like to follow people's journeys. So yeah, I'll be sure to follow along. This is kind of the beginning of the journey. So when I see you again, it will be the day. I'll try to do the day of my procedure and probably the day after, and I'll wrap into that as well my trip to my lymphatic massage, and then I'll do like a weekly update or like a every 2 week update from that, so you just can watch my results along the way. And yeah, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below so that when I do my next video, I can like have a little Q&A segment in that video where I answer the comments. That would be, that would be really helpful for me. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this vlog, for coming along with me on this journey. Until next time, be well, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.